Who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The season came to a close as the Seahawks dominated the Patriots in Super Bowl 60, 29-13. Kenneth Walker, your MVP. Seattle offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak now turns his eyes to his next job as he will be introduced later this week as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Houston Texans are retaining defensive backs coach Dino Vasso, and the Spurs beat the Mavs over the weekend as Stephon Castle was named Western Conference Player of the Week.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pleasure wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Thank you for joining me, however you may be joining me. Whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching live on YouTube, we appreciate all of y'all that jump in. If you do not watch the shows on YouTube, we got the Morning Huddle, the Blitz, here on Extra Innings with Pledge, all live for you on our YouTube channel. Just go to our channel at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead. Like, subscribe. You're able to comment along with the show as it happens, or feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Always welcome that in. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl? Me, myself, especially the first 3 quarters of it, kind of a snoozer. A lot of field goals, great defense, but, I mean, I could say the halftime show with Bad Bunny was the most interesting thing through the first half of the Super Bowl. There just wasn't a lot of offensive efficiency, and part of that is the defense, but also just we don't want to see a lot of field goals kicked. We don't. There's a reason the increased offense has led to increased viewership a lot of the times. And fantasy football is a prime reasoning for a lot of that. One of the things that I wanted to get into that's in my Sports Center script that has not been talked about a lot today would be Antonio Maria saying still watching Jetta leader him. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But I wanted to talk about Smith Valley Rangers quarterback Ty Knutson, who has committed as a part of the class of 2027 to the University of Texas, choosing the Longhorns over Oklahoma State and South Carolina. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Smith Valley quarterback committing to the University of Texas. He said in a statement, he's ready to represent his home state with the best of the rest. Hook 'em. So, kind of a cool little story there. I know they've got Diabell coming in this year. I know Arch Manning is still there. I know there's not a huge pathway for him, but maybe post Diabell, it could be the Ty Knutson show if he develops and continues to stay there instead of searching out his next opportunity. But it's going to be very cool just to say Smith Valley quarterback committed to the University of Texas. That hits a little home with me, and I am very, very about it. But in the Super Bowl, man, it was a whole lot of meh, right? And Sam says bad quarterback play. Is it bad quarterback play? Is it horrible offensive line play? It wasn't pretty what was blocking for Drake May, but then again, probably wouldn't have been pretty for CJ Stroud. We've talked about the amount of pressure that he has been under the last 2 years, and that's a big part of it. Complete teams. The offensive line play was terrible. It wasn't fantastic on the other side, but it was better. And that allowed Sam Darnold to be a little bit more efficient and better. And that is probably one of the main reasons that Seattle won that game, especially with their ability to get that run game going with Kenneth Walker, who did end up winning the MVP and will be a free agent when free agency kicks off. More from what went down in Super Bowl 60 as the Morning Huddle was discussing it this morning, earlier today.
The season ends, another football season in the books, which is it's a bittersweet time.
It always is.
It's a bittersweet time.
So what will be, but what could have been.
So how many days to training camp?
I don't know. Let's do that math, though. Let's figure it out.
I'll look it up.
I'm going to be miserable until about August.
We got a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
Because for the next 2 weeks, in about 2 weeks, we start talking about college dues that maybe not.
I
don't. You're like, oh, here we go.
But even then, like, I mean, I guess the draft is like it's a little,
it's a diversion.
It's a taste.
Yeah, it's a little diversion.
But I love football, man, and like all these people who are like, oh, I'm not going to watch the NFL, and like every time something political happens, like, oh, he took a knee, I'm not going to watch the NFL, or oh, Bad Bunny at halftime, I'm not going to watch. Man, like. Roger Goodell could murder a family, and I'd just be like, well, that sucks, man. Back to football. That's just me. I'm a mark for the NFL, man. They've got me reeled in.
All right, it's 160 days until
oh my
training
God.
camp. Yeah.
That's almost half a year.
Yeah. Well, depending on when they start it, so 160 to 170
dudes
days.
Running around with shoulder pads in May when we get our OTAs kicking. And prior to that, we'll have the all-rookie. So we'll get a chance to see them running around in shoulder pads and shorts.
Here's what we need: the 18th game and the extra bye week. Like, let's make the season longer. Let's keep stretching it out.
I want it to end in March. Right?
Yeah, man. How come like basketball and hockey and baseball, these seasons last all year long? They've got way too many games, and then football, it's over.
It's over.
It's the car wreck part of the game.
Yeah.
Man, they gotta figure that out. They gotta figure out how to make this thing last longer, stretch it out.
Well, I do think that there's room in the calendar to do it. I do, so and I think that the NFL realizes it. And
can make more money with one more game.
They would make more
season.
money, and as long as you can keep squeezing that sponge, you keep squeezing it. So I think it's imminent. So it will happen, just to feed the bulldog that they've created. So
that's me. I'm the bulldog.
Well, I mean,
I gotta feed
you're the bulldog, but you're ravenous. But the dudes that are getting paid are the bulldogs. Those are the ones that actually bite the owners.
Yeah, that's true.
So they as they continue to get ravenous, they're going to have to continue finding the funds. And the next one is let's add another week.
The MVP, Kenneth Walker, walks away with the trophy. He had 135 rushing yards, 26 receiving yards, so 161 total yards, no touchdowns. But the first running back to be the MVP since Terrell Davis of the Denver Broncos a long time ago. Lot of firsts in this thing. There's one on the screen now. The first team to hold their opponent scoreless in the Super Bowl for 3 quarters since 1970. The Steelers. I mean, we're talking old school. I was hoping they were going to shut the Patriots out.
Oh man, that
could have happened.
Great.
I would. Oh man, that would have brought me so much.
The pass that hit that caused a lot of people to get upset for a couple of different.
Yeah. Well,
the 33.5.
My big scare was when the game was over. I mean, it was already 29-13, and it looked like Kenneth Walker had scored a touchdown, like he had broken away and scored. And I was like, no. And my wife's like, why are you cheering against the Seahawks? But first of all, they're already up 16 points in the fourth quarter. The game's over. And I'm like, because they called a holding and they brought it back, which, by the way, there weren't very many penalties called in this game, which I appreciated.
I know.
Get up and go, baby.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. It's always nice when the officials don't make the game about them.
And luckily there weren't. And part of that was there weren't a lot of pass attempts that were even close to where a PI could have been called, and that's always the thing that slows the game down, the PIs.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with that at least 3 times and a half, which in the Super Bowl seems to be more probable than not, you know.
Yeah.
But last night, both teams could only run the ball or at least try to, or they weren't going to get the ball even close to the receiver to have a PI even be questioned. So move along, baby.
Also saw Drake May, when he throws at least 30 passes, is now 1-13 in those games.
That's a stat that you could debate, because if you're throwing that many balls, you're probably behind anyway. So I mean, you could place that in the lap of the quarterback, complete your passes, but sometimes those are desperate situations because your defense couldn't keep up. So you're trying to do things that are out of your purview. So that one is kind of a hidden one, but it's a truthful
what it is,
one.
It's a game manager stat.
It's
and it goes to being a good game manager and then having to go out and win a football game.
And it tells me you need to progress in your quarterback. That first year, you probably lost 12 of those in that first year when your team was terrible. But it does show that you have not learned not only to manage the game, but to be a force multiplier and go win a game.
Yeah. And listen, Sam Darnold wasn't exactly Sam Darnold he completed 50% of his passes. I think he started the game like 2 of 10 or something like that. I mean, it wasn't a great game for Sam Darnold, but he didn't make the mistakes, and Drake May made the mistakes. Well, and Drake May was also under just constant duress. You don't get sacked 6 times in a football game and often win those games.
I never felt like Seattle had to go to plan B.
No.
You know, I think let's try Kenny K9 and let's see how it goes. And they never had to stop. So I don't think they had to turn the page. I think they really limited the book because they just didn't have to expand it. They did what they wanted, and they smothered them on defense. And they knew that they were never going to be in jeopardy. So just hold on to the ball.
Yep. And 3-0 in the turnovers, and that is the difference in the game. 2 picks and a sack fumble for Drake May. And Sam Darnold, who led the league in turnovers in the regular season, finishes the postseason turnover free. And sometimes that's all it takes.
Hey, look at plan. You got one option. If he's covered, dirt it, throw it out of bounds.
And there was a pass that he threw early in the game, and it was like, oh man, that could have easily been picked off, gone the other way. There was a pass where the corner probably should have caught the ball and just dropped it. But he survived it, and
Kubiak saw it and never called that again.
Yeah, play it safe,
again,
dude.
brother.
Why take any risks? So sometimes that's all it takes. When you've got a defense like that, you ask your quarterback, don't go out there and screw it up. And this was a successful playoff run for Sam Darnold because you never felt like he was screwing up the game. And you'll hear a lot about the first guy from that all-time great draft class, the Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Rosen. Let's not forget him. And Sam Darnold, 5 first-round draft picks in that draft. Sam Darnold, the first to win a Super Bowl, first to get to a Super Bowl even.
So he held the record for the largest head, and now he's the first one to actually make a Super Bowl. That's a couple of things he's beating those quarterbacks.
Sam Darnold also the only full-size leprechaun that exists on Earth. Like
he had some things going for him.
That red beat, like when you look at him, like I feel like
put a green hat on him.
I feel like I should be able to make a wish or something. I don't know. What's going on?
Follow him home. He's got a pot of gold. I know that somewhere.
Sam Darnold, man, can't deny this. He's got great hair. I'll give him that. It may be red, but it is fantastic. Full volume body. Looks good. Bunch of people in the chat rooting for Myers to win. Keep kicking field goals and end up winning the MVP. That would have been hysterical to me. Antonio said he was hungover, didn't get to catch the morning huddle, so this is for him. Sam Darnold greater than Josh Allen. Look, it is what it is. And the Super Bowl halftime show was fun. I had a lot more fun watching that than I thought I was gonna, just because of the language barrier of the music. But it was a vibe. and I vibed along with it as it happened. I think a lot of the outrage is due to the fact that it's just not music that you listen to. I mean, there are people that complain when Kendrick Lamar was the Super Bowl halftime show, or, if you want classic rock, you want classic rock. If you want new rock, you want new rock. If you want rap hip hop, you want rap hip hop. Pop artists cover a larger variety of what the country listens to because it's popular music. But it is what it is, and I'm okay with it, especially with the NFL going as international as it is going, with games in Brazil and Spain and Mexico City. They're branching so far out. I have no issues with that. I mean, there was a lot of complaint for Bad Bunny. There wasn't a lot of complaint for Shania Twain or the Rolling Stones or Paul McCartney, or none of those guys are American citizens either, by the way. The Who. Remember when that was a thing? Look, it's the language barrier. And a lot of people don't understand what he was doing, but if you don't understand it, vibe with it. And that's what I did, because Bad Bunny is massive in pop music right now. He is a cultural phenomenon, and he gets tons of radio play. He is in the Billboard Top 100 consistently and near the top of a lot of those charts. Has a lot of features with a lot of artists because people seem to like him, and a lot. And Ricky Martin, seeing him there was cool. And it must have been cool for a guy who, coming into the scene, was told he had to sing in English in order for his music to become mainstream, to be able to perform a Super Bowl by singing the way he was told he couldn't sing. That was probably a full circle moment for Ricky Martin, and I was cool with Bad Bunny to bring him in to do that. Lady Gaga also on the halftime show. That was really cool, because as soon as she popped off, I was like, is that Gaga? But lots of fun. It was a vibe. There wasn't a lot of costume changes, which I thought there would be. He stayed in the same outfit through the entirety of the show, but kept moving throughout the entirety of the show. And it brought a lot of energy. And I did like that a lot. That was cool. And it was very awesome to see just something new, something different. And whether I'm into it or not, a lot of people did vibe with it. And I'm okay with that. If I'm one of the few that was like, I get this, but I could have done with other. But at the same time, Green Day played the opener. And that was awesome to me, because being a punk pop guy, that is my jam. And having Green Day perform at the onset of the Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl festivities, was really, really cool. So I don't know. I think it boils down to your taste in music, and does it fit with it or not is going to be wholly dependent on how you feel about the show, or how vocal you are about the show. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. Of course, congratulations to Reek Woolen, first UTSA player to win that Super Bowl ring. So congratulations to Reek on that. When we come back, well, the Super Bowl is over. So what does that mean? It's time to start looking at the 2026 NFL season. We'll do that as we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. Football season is over. Sigh. So I guess we'll talk some Spurs, Rob.
Yeah, there's lots to talk about above and beyond. Spurs got the Lakers. There's lots of college basketball in the Underwear Olympics, otherwise known as the Combine, just around the corner. We're talking about it all. Get here early. Party at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. After an accident, a lot of people think they can't afford a lawyer. They're already stressed, hurting, or maybe out of work. And the last thing they need is a big retainer fee to get help. But here's the truth. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you only pay if they win. Real help is within reach right now. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
The Blitz is live at San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brewing, this Wednesday, 2 to 6. Craft beers, delicious food, and joining us, the business professionals of San Antonio Networking Mixer. It's Wednesday at Novo Brewing, attached to North Star Mall.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pledger. Appreciate y'all for rolling along with me tonight. Super Bowl is said and done. It's time to focus on a couple of things. The Combine, NFL free agency, and the draft. And then we start paying more attention to college hoops because a couple of weeks we get into March. March Madness starts. So it's time to use these next 3 to 4 weeks of the end of the regular season and conference tournaments to decipher who we think is going to make that run through March to the championship game in April. And of course, NBA season. Spurs in a really good spot as they head into the All-Star break and begin their rodeo road trip coming up. But let's face it, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the NFL and how teams like the Cowboys, like the Texans, like everybody else can do what it takes to get to where Seattle and New England were this year. And that was exactly what they were talking about earlier today on the Blitz with Jason and Joe.
Plenty going on in the NFL, even though the season, I guess, officially ended. I had no idea, and I guess I should have known, Jason, that the Underwear Olympics begins later this month. The Combine.
Well, of course.
I didn't even think about that. I saw the ad yesterday, and I'm like, oh, well, that's great.
The NFL just continues to dominate and own every month.
Yes.
There's always something, but the offseason, is here. And for 2 teams, season ended yesterday. For everybody else, they've already been at work trying to get to where 2 teams were. And that is the Super Bowl, which, by the way, next year, Los Angeles on Valentine's Day.
The logo already came out.
The logo came out today.
Yeah, sure did.
Looks good.
It does. It does. And LA's a good spot, although the Olympics are going on.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting next year.
It will be. Yes. I don't know. Lots going on, though. And going to break, we talked a little bit about Max Crosby
apparently he told Tom Brady he's done with the Raiders. Which baffles me because I thought Crosby would die a Raider. I mean, he's just kind of Raider-esque, isn't he? But if that's the case, I mean, he's going to be in demand.
He will be, and it is difficult to try to figure out where a guy is at right now. If Max Crosby did tell Tom Brady he's done with the Raiders, and that's what the reports are, that will be an interesting offseason boom, because during the season, around the trade deadline, everybody thought Max Crosby was on the block, possibly headed to Dallas as one of the destinations. I don't know if it makes sense for Dallas in this offseason financially, especially if you are committed to bringing George Pickens back. By all accounts, reports over the weekend that George Pickens would get the tag. That really isn't new news, even though Adam Schefter broke it over the weekend, because I remember in November, Mike Fisher, who covers the Cowboys up in Dallas, had a similar type article in, November? When Fish said George Pickens is not going to become a free agent. The Cowboys will either sign him or use the tag on him. So that's not new news. But when you look at the dollar amount that goes with the tag,
$28 million.
And all of that under the tag,
yes,
as we all know how it works, applies to this year's cap. Now, cap's going up by $20 million. You got CeeDee Lamb saying he's willing to restructure his deal. We know Dak will. A lot of those big deals have some built-in restructure components. Others you have to agree, players have to agree to restructure. They never cost the player a dime. It's just how are they getting their money and when are they getting their money? But when you look at freeing up money for a Max Crosby, whatever team does it, but also what are the Raiders going to get in return? They will get more value in the offseason than at the trade deadline when you're kind of desperate. But I would expect them to, if they're going to move a Max Crosby, to move a Max Crosby before free agency begins. Let's go back to how Jerry handled Micah Parsons. He did it all wrong. If Jerry was truly going to trade away a Micah Parsons, he should have done it in March when he could have gotten more in return and then utilized what he got to help this year's team as opposed to waiting.
Sure.
And I don't know what to believe ever from Micah Parsons on his podcast, but he said last week in San Francisco he was this close to being an Eagle, but he shot it down, if you believe that.
Well, but the Eagles, what I heard, the Cowboys wanted Carter.
Yeah.
And the Eagles weren't willing to do that.
Well, but again, but in the offseason where you can utilize those draft picks or that found money, if you will, on free agency, that's when it makes sense. So you've got a new coach that's going to get introduced this week in Kubiak. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Max Crosby. And my guess is Kubiak, because he's smart, will talk to Max about, hey, I know you've been through hell here. Now it's not going to be hell, because every coach is going to say that when they're coming in.
Well, of course. And look, Crosby in the article says, I'd rather retire. He's not going to retire. He'd be walking away from a ton of money. He just signed a new 3-year deal, if you remember, back in 25, $106.5 million extension. It's a 3-year extension. So he's not going to walk away from that.
Well, and look, didn't we hear this last year from Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett walking around Super Bowl Radio Row in New Orleans last year, talking about how he wanted out. He even had this fancy letter that he put on social media about how much he wanted to win, and he wasn't going to win in Cleveland. I never thought he would leave, but I got to chase a ring. And, how much? Yep, Cleveland is fine.
Cleveland's
Love
great.
it here. Always going to be a Brown. Max Crosby's doing the same thing. He's pissed off right now. He's emotional with the way things have been going there with the Raiders organization and with him and getting talked about in trade talks, at the deadline. He could say that now, and that's fine. I think when it's all said and done, I don't know that the Raiders are going to trade him.
I don't think they're going to, and I agree with you. With the new head coach coming in, Max Crosby's going to be just fine. He needs to go take a little vacation, go to Mexico or somewhere, relax, and he'll be just fine. Realize how much his agent needs to tell him, you really want to retire? You do that. It's a hell of a lot of money, and that's going to affect me too. So he's not going anywhere. I can't believe that he would. So we'll see what happens. There's another article that I just saw, Jason, and I'm happy about it. The NFL is going to take up this offseason again an alternative for the onside kick. And I hope they do this because an onside kick right now is just, the chances of recovering the damn thing are slim and none. They want to go to a 4th and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Hey, you can pick up 13 yards, you get to keep the ball.
When you look at what I find interesting in the Alliance of American Football, the old AAF, remember the San Antonio Commanders days?
Sure.
All their study and all their research was 4th and 12. And the percentages weren't that much higher than an onside kick. And where you put it on the field, it would be about where it would be if you went for an onside kick and the other team recovered it. So 4th and 13, 4th and 12, run a play and give yourself more of an opportunity because you're right. The onside kick, you don't have the element of surprise.
No,
it's declared. And then the way the field is balanced, you're right. The chances of recovering are slim and none, unless you can figure out how a kicker can get trained to drill one off of somebody's helmet and you catch the bounce back. That would be the only way those things could be effective. And it's funny because you joke with some special teams guys that would try that, but it's kind of frowned upon because of safety. You don't want to give a guy a concussion trying to do an onside kick. I like the 4th and 13 as an option. It's to me, the best option of doing an onside kick because, to your point, they're worthless at this point.
They are.
At every level of football, you don't see enough of them get recovered. And when you do, you're like, holy, that just happened.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many, somebody late in the season brought that up, and there were like 3 that had been recovered for the entire season. And I could be way off on that, so don't quote me on it, but it's hard to do. Now, again, the defense would know that you need 13 yards. So, they're not stupid. They set up for that, but still, I think you've got a better chance of making a 4th and 13 than you do of an onside kick.
I want to say the percentages are probably still under 15%. You're going to convert that.
Sure.
But teams will have their 4th and long play, their onside, whatever plays they have that think would work, just like you see them with their 2-point conversion plays. It's going to be a little section on the menu of the play card. In this situation, this is what we're going to do. But as a fan, you feel like your team still has a chance if you're able to convert that 4th and 13 a lot more than getting an onside kick.
Absolutely. And it would be more fun anyway, I think, for the fan, for the viewer to watch that and see that if that's your team or not, or whoever's doing it, it's just a more exciting play in my mind.
And the other part too is I'm still not in love with the entire kickoff situation. I don't know what they could do to tweak it. I'm not the biggest fan of the way it is set up now. I wonder if they'll do any tweaks to the current kickoff format.
Interesting. I don't have an issue with it necessarily. How that game started out yesterday. Perfect example, and it cost the Patriots right away because he kicks it into the end zone. They get the ball on the 35-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
That should be just a fine for a kicker. You kick the ball in the end zone, dude, you're fined. $100.
Yeah.
$1,000, whatever it is.
$100, huh, for a kicker?
You're gonna give those guys and they did in Seattle, drives right down the field and ends up with a field goal.
Well, you get great field position. It is interesting though, because it's one thing if we like how it is, but then you start looking at the data and player safety. Even with this new format, concussions are still up. So they're going to have to look at it by their own bylaws or whatever they want to call them. You don't want touchbacks, but nobody wants to give up the return. And you saw that. I'd rather Shaheed not take one to the house. I'll give you the 35-yard line. We'll give up the field position and let our great defense do its thing.
Well, I tell you what, special teams coach, make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, what the hell? Let's go.
Special teams coach, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, what about the players on special teams?
Well, those guys too.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to put them in their place, for goodness sake. Interesting stuff. So hopefully that happens. The kick, I don't know. I don't have a problem with the kickoffs. I'm okay with it if in that respect. It was a little bit goofy at the beginning, but I don't have any problem with it. I wish they just go back to the old one. Honestly, just kick it off and let's go.
I just look at, there's so many different things that you could look at, how they'll tweak the game, and then, what teams are going to be good, what teams need to do what in the offseason. Cowboys, it's easy, fix the defense. If their defense can be decent, could they be back there? Was it Dan Orlovsky last week that talked about this new era of Cowboy football and the new window is opening? I don't know. I mean, it's been 30 years that next year for the Cowboys. But when you see in a copycat league, two teams led by their defense get to the Super Bowl, Jerry Jones has to take notice of that. It's easy. I mean, everybody knows their defense was bad. They don't have to be Seattle good to be in a Super Bowl. But Dak Prescott's window, next year LA, then Atlanta, and then, I've heard rumors about 63 being in either Dallas or Las Vegas. That's kind of the window for Dak Prescott under his current deal. And I can't imagine he gets another one unless he wins a Super Bowl, right? But they're not going to win a Super Bowl unless they go do something they don't normally do, and that's spend big money on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they're going to have to do that, obviously, and it starts with the draft. Two defensive players there, so get some young guys in there that are top notch at what they do in the college game and get them going. But Todd Archer writes this article, and I find it interesting. It's not only adding players, Jason, but it's also, as he points out, there's guys that need to improve. Overshown, Ravel, Ezeraku, and Deron Bland. These are guys that he's pointing at that have to up their game as well.
And they do. There's no doubt about that. But with Overshown, it looks like the arrow's pointing up. It's been pointing up. We got to see how the injury affects him. With Bland, we hope scheme can help fix what had ailed him. And with Revel, at least from the short amount we saw of him this season, he looks like a player that could have a trajectory that goes in a very favorable direction for the Dallas Cowboys. What I think the big thing for them is, and I think swipe the pen, magically you create cap space, but you're $33 million or just under $33 million over the salary cap going into this. You've got your own players you have to re-sign, and you're talking about big money free agents or trades like Max Crosby. I don't think that's going to be the direction that the Cowboys can go. I think they're going to have to do what they've done, and they're going to try and find, and there's nothing wrong with that. Howie Roseman of the Eagles found Zach Bond on the scrap heap for cheap. You just got to find the right guy that fits your scheme. And hopefully they keep talking about communication, the communication and the teaching aspect of a Christian Parker and what that means for the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully the same way it meant for the offensive side of the ball with Coach Schottenheimer. And if those two signs are married and aligned, I think the ability to coach, the ability to teach, the ability to communicate, and that goes for the coaching staff and communicating with them on what they want. And the one thing we can say is this offseason, it does look like the Joneses, McClay, everybody is aligned in what they're looking for. And that may be the best thing moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys, is that everybody's on the same page. And if everybody is on the same page and they know what they're looking for going into free agency in the draft, maybe those holes can be patched a little bit better than they have in previous years. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, in the morning huddle, they have a habit of kicking off the week by looking back at the weekend's worst. The Losers is coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action because you can make those picks and win money right now here in Texas. And it's so easy. You pick your favorite players. Are they going to go higher or lower on their stats? Points, rebounds, steals, three-pointers made, whatever it is, you get your picks right. You're going up to 5,000 times your cash. I'm still riding De'Aaron Fox. He's become a great part of this offense. Always a good look for higher with De'Aaron. Download the app today. Use my promo code Alamo. You'll get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
What is a buy bid? It is a bid to buy. For 25 years, I've been giving dealers buy bids on the phone for your trade-ins. You go to trade it in, they call me, they get a buy bid. Now I'm giving you a direct buy bid at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're going in front of the dealer, getting the buy bid straight from me, the man, John Clay Wolf at GiveMeTheVin.com. If I don't beat your CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
You know, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunk Club. and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your tee, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all rolling with me this evening as I take you up till 7 o'clock. A lot of Tim Tebow slander going on in the comment section. I don't know why. Talking about quarterbacks, I'm a big fan of Fernando Mendoza, and then Tim Tebow's name gets brought up, and that's not even close to the same type of quarterback you were talking about. An option quarterback in Tim Tebow that was always going to have a tough time transitioning into the NFL. And a lot of people were kind of shocked that he even went in the first round in the first place. Fernando Mendoza is no doubt number one, and he plays from the pocket, has played from the pocket his entire career. So I don't understand the correlation of why Tim Tebow has been brought up in the comments section, other than they just want to hate on Tim Tebow. And I'm okay with that too. Go do you, chat. YouTube section is always fun at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Jump in there. You can always, although I will say Tim Tebow had one of the more memorable postseason moments in his slant to the now late great Demaryius Thomas, RIP, as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is one of the reasons they haven't won a first round playoff game in as long as they have. But as we talk about people that have struggled to live up to expectations, the Morning Huddle takes weekly looks back at the weekend's biggest losers.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck. Dang it.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser. I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
You know what? I'm going right out of the gate. I'm attacking Drake May.
I was gonna.
This bum ass dude.
He was hurt.
Drake May said after the game, "Oh yeah, I had to get a pain-killing shot in my right shoulder." Yeah, it was. As
far as I could even play.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's it just.
If it weren't for my superhuman strength, I probably couldn't even gotten on the field.
Terrible. He was not good in the game. He had the worst EPA game in the history of the Super Bowl for a quarterback. He had a 40 QBR in this playoff run combined. 40.
We all saw it coming. I mean, we all knew that eventually the clock would run out. Now, he didn't flame out, but he did flame out. I mean, he didn't throw a pick six. I mean, he didn't just physically hand the game to the other team. But he had a
he did throw a pick six, didn't he?
He did throw. That's right. He even threw the pick. I mean, he deserves everything he's going to take.
No, it was a fumble six, I guess.
Okay, yeah. He had a terrible game.
Hey, he had some good scramble runs.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
you
but
would think like, oh, look, there it is, finally. But that was it.
There was nothing that made me think he was anything other than a second-year quarterback. There was nothing in there that made me think that, he's seen this before. I'm not saying that he won't be successful the next time he's here, but he looked like a guy who was the first-time Super Bowl participant who was undereducated. I mean, this is only his second year. There's a lot of stuff in this world he hadn't seen.
Yeah. He was a full participant in practice all week. On Thursday, said he was feeling great.
Great.
I'm feeling great.
My arm.
My arm. My shoulder. My shoulder hurts now.
See, look at it, how it bends today. I had to play with this.
Pulling the old Rodney Dangerfield.
My arm. I didn't realize I was hurt till this morning. And
that's a bitch sauce move. Talking about I had to get the shot after the game's over.
That's pretty weak. I'm sure
Get
this is
out of
not
here.
really in the context it should be taken, but you just don't say. You just don't
talk about that. You just say, man, hey, it wasn't my night.
That's well deserved. Mine is not deserved, but it has to be. Lindsey Vonn.
Oh,
what a spectacular loss. I mean, if you're gonna lose, go out that way. But that was a I've never seen anybody flame out like that.
Did she get a shot and went back?
Oh, she was skiing on a ruptured ACL that she had hurt like 10 days ago. So she is bound together literally with snot and gauze pads, and 200 yards out of the break, and boom, just explodes.
Sticks?
Oh my God.
On her ankle.
They had the helicopter off the side of the mountain.
Oh my God.
It went from bad to worse real fast.
It did. And it's tough for Lindsey Vonn, and more news coming out on Lindsey Vonn's injury, as it is now being reported that not just did she break her leg, that in a post that she posted, complete tibia fracture that will require multiple surgeries to fix properly. She was 5 inches too tight on her line, and her right arm hooked inside of the gate, twisting her, resulting in the crash. Had nothing to do with her ACL whatsoever. So that just stinks for Lindsey Vonn. And you feel bad because you know this was her last run at, which is why she was willing to risk it all the way she did on a completely ruptured ACL. Eagle fan can't deny she's tough. Brewster saying Lindsey Vonn should retire at this point. Yeah, I've got respect for what she's done, but at this point, 41, the injury she suffered, and it is a long list of injuries. This is just the latest of them. It was brutal for Lindsey Vonn. Hopefully things work out and she gets better, but she did make the Morning Huddle's losers this morning. When we come back, we'll put a ball on the show, get you ready for the rest of the week, including your chance to win Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets. How you can do that, we'll let you know coming back on the other side here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
The Blitz is live at San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brewing, this Wednesday, 2 to 6. Craft beers, delicious food, and joining us, the business professionals of San Antonio Networking Mixer. It's Wednesday at Novo Brewing, attached to North Star Mall.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night.
And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling with me this evening. So we take you up to the top of the hour. Now, loyal listeners of the program, I'm going to let you in on a secret. We've got Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. He's coming May 19th, Sunday, to McLean Stadium in Waco, which is an awesome venue, by the way. Love that venue. And we've got your chance to go see him. Now, we only have 3 chances for you to win. It's going to be coming up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, you have to go see the Blitz. They're going to be live out at Novo Brazil Brewing, attached to North Star Mall. Go there, register, hang around, chill out with the guys. They'll pull a winner at the end of the show. Thursday, listen to the Morning Huddle from 9 to 10. Friday, once again, Blitz is out live. Go see them. They're going to be at the Roo Pub. That's my favorite spot. I'll probably swing by when I'm done working. So head out to Roo Pub on Friday. Register to win Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. Listen to the Morning Huddle on Thursday. They've got your chance to win there. Or go out Wednesday, so just a couple days from now, Novo Brazil Brew out there attached to North Star Mall. Those are your chances, and the only way that you can win tickets to go see Post Malone and Jelly Roll when they come to Texas to play out at McLean Stadium there in Waco. Other than that, that's it. You're going to have to buy your tickets, and you can always buy your tickets at livenation.com if you want your chance to go see them. But the only way that you can get them for free, because I looked up those tickets and they are not cheap, is to go see the Blitz live on location the rest of the week, or just go on out there and listen to the Morning Huddle on Thursday. Now, tomorrow, the Blitz is going to have a chance for you as we kick off your rodeo things to win tickets to go see Robert Earl Keen. Robert Earl Keen's playing at the rodeo on February 19th. So we've got your chance to win tomorrow. Tomorrow on the Morning Huddle, they're sending you to go see the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on April 12th out at the Tobin Center. So start your day bright and early. Get up for the Morning Huddle. Your chance to win Dallas Cowboys cheerleader tickets live out at the Tobin Center, and tune into the Blitz tomorrow afternoon for your chance to go see Robert O'Keefe at the rodeo. Other than that, this has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. Call your loved ones, check on them. You never know how people are doing in life, and a simple, hey, how you doing, can fix everything. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. I love you guys. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out to tune in with me this afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow night right back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure.
94.1 FM.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes.